Okay, here are the answers for the 415 preview. So problem number 447 said complete each diamond problem below. The pattern used is right here. So remember x and y, the top we're multiplying, the bottom we're adding. So I have to figure out what I multiplied by 1/2 to get 1. It turns out it's 2. And then 2 plus 1/2 is 2.5. So this one's a little trickier. What did I multiply by to get 10, but add together to get -7? So 10, I can multiply 5 and 2, but that wouldn't give me -7. But if they were -5 and -2, that would. What did I multiply by -1 to get 5? So I multiplied it by -5 and then add them together and I get -6. And then what did I add together to get -6? So I subtracted. So I did -6 minus 8, so it's -14. And adding together, multiplying them together, I get -112. Problem number 48, simplify each expression. So the first one, I'm just distributing a negative, so I get -5x minus 1. The second one, I'm distributing a negative and then combining like terms. So I get 6x plus 5x minus 1, which is 11x minus 1. A lot of people did this part, but forgot to combine. C, I'm distributing a negative. I get -1 plus 5x. And D, I am distributing a positive. So I just get -5x plus x minus 1, or -4x minus 1. Problem number 49, invent a tile pattern that grows by 4 each time. Draw figures 0, 1, 2, and 3. Use colors to show or shading. So I can start my tile pattern wherever I want. So I started it as just 1. So then in my second one, I would have 1 in the middle and then 4 more. So I'll change colors. I just did this. But it could be anything you wanted. And then for the next one, I still had 1 in the middle. But I added 4 more to the edges. Then I did the same thing in the last one. Problem 50, complete a table for that rule. So I started at -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. So 3 minus -3 is really 3 plus 3, so it'd be 6. 3 plus 2 would give me 5. 3 plus 1 would give me 4. This would be 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. And this would be 0. Then part A, it says, is 32 minus 29 a point on this graph? Explain why not? So I just plugged in 32 and I did 3 minus 32, which is -29. And the answer is yes. Because when I plug it in, it works. Problem 51. For each equation below, solve for the variable. Check your solutions if possible and show work. So I'm solving for p. So first I'm going to simplify. 3p minus 2p is p. -7 plus 9 is 2 plus 2 equals p plus 2. I've realized they're both the same, so the answer is going to be infinite solutions. For problem number, or letter B, I first simplify everything. So I get 2x, so I get -3x equals 0, because 5 minus 5 is 0. Divide by -3. Turns out x actually equals 0. For the next one, I simplify first, so I get 12 equals -r plus 6, minus 6 from both sides. I get 6 equals -r, or -1r. Divide, and I get -6 equals r. So a lot of us, when I was grading, left it as -r. You can't. It has to be positive r. For this next one, the first thing I did was simplify or distribute. So I get -y squared plus 2. And y squared minus 2y is going to be -y squared minus 5. So I added y squared to both sides. They both canceled, and I got 2 equals -5, which means there's no solution. Problem 52, solve each equation below for x, then check your solutions. So one of the things that you need to make sure to do is show some work on these. You can use a giant 1, you can use cross multiplication, it's lots of different ways to do it. I cross multiplied, so I got 8x equals 12, and then divided by 8. So x equals 1.5. I did not give you credit unless you wrote the answer underneath it. Like a lot of people tried to scribble out the x. For the next one, I can multiply by something, or I could cross multiply. So I got 15x equals 120, and divided by 15, it turns out x equals 8. For this one, I could use a giant 1 of 8 over 8. So I end up with x equals 16. For the last one, I could multiply by 2 over 2. So x equals 6.